So first question I have for you, Android certainly seems to be on the rise. Are you surprised by the uptake at all?
I'm pleased. I wouldn't say I'm surprised because I think that there's always been a push to get things onto the mobile platform and to get open source moving into that area. So I wouldn't say I'm totally surprised.
Right.
There have been a number of other projects before this, and none of them has really got the same momentum. So partly, I guess, the success is due to the Google brand name behind it.
Sure.
And just other than that, it's just the right place and right time.
What do you expect out of the upcoming Android tablets?
I don't have a really good feeling on where they're going to go. I mean, the iPad got out first and has attracted a lot of attention.
Yeah.
The Android tablets, I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on one and seeing how they perform. And
Right.
I think they'll do well in the market, but I don't know how. I don't have a really good, strong sense of whether they'll be a niche or whether they'll explode like the phone did.
Right, yeah. So kind of along those lines, when Android first came out, there was a lot of talk as well that it could be ported to a variety of different devices, not just mobile phones, not even just tablets. Do you anticipate that it will start to make inroads into things like, I don't know, home appliances, that kind of thing?
Again, pardon me, I really don't know on that one because the market is just so varied right now. Google have obviously announced the Google TV project.
Right.
Things have been around for a long time in that space. If you know your history, you'll know that Java was first invented as a set-top box, and it never took off in that space. So rather than cancel the project altogether, they repurposed it for the internet, and it took off there. So whether it takes off, I don't know.
Right. So what's your take on App Inventor? That seems like an interesting sort of differentiator for the Android space.
App Inventor and also the Android scripting environment both are, I think, evidence of how the extent to which Google understands the need to open things up in ways that Apple doesn't. Apple has this very nice view that all the world is Objective-C, and if you're not with us, you're against us. Android, on the other hand, is opening it up to just about everything in sight, and at all levels of development, from the App Inventor, which is a drag and drop, all the way down to the low-level APIs that you can use, and even below that, native code if you really need it. So they're, I think, much more flexible, and I think that's part of what's driving the adoption, is people want that flexibility, the ability to not be told what toolkit they have to use.
Now, do you think that there's, because I see this come up again and again, particularly in conversations looking at the difference between how Apple handles applications and how the Android market in particular handles applications. Do you think that there is a curation issue there, or do you think that Google isn't really that concerned about it?
It's funny, I was having a talk with a security expert just a few minutes ago, and he reminded me of this issue that the curation needs to be done to an extent so that you don't have to wind up going the same way we went on the desktop, which is making sure that every single device has an up-to-date set of virus definitions on it. There needs to be, both from Apple and from Google, there needs to be the ability to, if you download something from the official market, to know that it's been scanned or otherwise interrogated to make sure that it's safe. We had an incident last week where Google, or 2 weeks ago now, where Google pulled a particular application because it turned out not to be malicious, but it was in fact a virus that was put there by a security researcher. And he told them about it and they pulled it, which is a reasonable thing. It was an application that pretended to be one thing and did something else. So they did the right thing in pulling it, but it would have been nice if they had detected it beforehand, and they did not.
Right. So last question I have for you. Do you think there's going to be any confusion between Android and Chrome OS? I mean, can those two coexist? Are they going to be competing against each other?
I also do some work with OpenBSD, and Theo Durad, who's the head of that project, has a catchphrase for this. He says, choice is good. And I think that you can't have too many operating systems out there. And so I welcome the opportunity to explore the different systems, but I'm right now just focusing on Android.
Right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.